Honorable Deacon Mitchell, Prime Minister, Minister for National Security, Home Affairs, Public Administration, Information and Disaster Management. Honorable Gloria Thomas, Minister for Social and Community Development and Gender Affairs. Honorable Philip Telesford, yes. Sometimes the brain goes a little faster than the eyes, if that makes sense. This is Naomi Jeremiah, Permanent Secretary with responsibility for Social Development and Gender Affairs, Ministry of Social and Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs. A representative of the Community Development and Housing Ministry of Social and Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs. I'd like to say hello to the Permanent Secretary's representative is SAO, Ms. Suzanne Hood Williams. Mrs. Chrissy Worm Charles, Director of Social Development, Ministry of Social and Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs. Mr. Tevin Shepard, Program Management Specialist, Youth, USAID Eastern and Southern Caribbean Mission. Dr. Roxanne Brazan St. Martin, Program Director, Health, Social Inclusion and Social Protection, OECS Commission. Pastor Happy Akasi, Thy Kingdom Come, Deliverance Sanctuary. Members of the civil society, staff of the Ministry of Social Development, special invited guests, members of the Marian community and surrounding areas, members of the media, and of course, those of you viewing online, welcome via Mikey Live to this momentous occasion. Before we get started with this afternoon's proceedings, we will firstly start off with the invocation. And with us this afternoon to lead us is Pastor Happy Akasi, Thy Kingdom Come Deliverance Sanctuary. Please stand for the invocation, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Master of Ceremony. Blessed good afternoon to everyone. Please allow me to stand upon the protocol already established. Let us bow our heads, please, and close our eyes as we honor the Almighty God in prayer. Father, in the name that is above every name, in the name of your Son, Jesus the Messiah, we are gathering before you today. And Lord, we give you thanks. We thank you for your goodness. We thank you for your mercies. We thank you for your love and your compassion. Even in the midst of coming out of the hurricane, Lord, we give you thanks for you are faithful, God. And we thank you for the journey to recovery. And Lord, even as we are here at this event today, we are praying your blessings upon our young people in a special way. Even as they harness, Lord, the potential of excellence, Lord, we are praying that you will bless them mightily. We're asking that you will navigate them, Lord, even through the youth pressure and everything that they are faced with, the challenges. We're asking for your presence and your blessings upon their lives. And we're asking, Lord, that their talents will be harnessed, and Lord, that they will be truly blessed. They will make Grenada proud, Carrie Quinn, Peter Martinique, the communities of family members, that they will make everyone proud. And we pray for this program. We pray, Lord, for everyone, for the government. We pray, Lord, for your blessings upon the government, our honorable Prime Minister and members of the government. We pray for your blessings, for your guidance, for your directions, for your wisdom, even in these challenging times that we live. So, Lord, we bless everything that will be said and done here today, that it will be to the glory and to the honor of your holy name. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen. Thank you.
Please remain standing, ladies and gentlemen, for the national anthem that will be led by the members of the Harpers Music School. Thank you. Please be seated. At this time, I'd like to acknowledge Minister Dennis Cornwall, Minister of Finance. Good afternoon, sir. My humble apologies. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed a pleasure to spend this afternoon with you at the official launch of the National Hype Mentoring Program. Now, this groundbreaking initiative is dedicated to providing a safe and supportive environment for the holistic development of children in conflict with the law through comprehensive mentoring and psychosocial support. Aligned with the goals of USAID and the OECS Commission, this program aims to reduce crime and violence among youth through extensive reform and support systems. So we're very happy to be here, and of course I'd like to also acknowledge the presence of Honorable Philip Tellersford, Minister of Parliament for St. George Southeast and Minister for Health. As a matter of fact, sir, your timing is impeccable, because on the program, you are up next. So if it's okay with you, I know you just got seated, but if it's okay with you, sir, we move on to the welcome remarks. Honorable Philip Tellersford will do us the honor. Afternoon, sir.
Buenas tardes, todo el mundo. Good afternoon, everyone. This just underscores the fact that the Prime Minister included me on his Cuban visit, and I learned something. It's a pleasure for me to join with the Ministry of Social and Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs. As a matter of fact, may I express that I'm a bit jealous that I'm not the substantive minister doing this one. But my dear loving sister, she is excellent at this. So I know that we will not be shortchanged and cannot be shortchanged, because her vision indeed is one that is very much alive. I want to take this opportunity to welcome each and every one of you to this, what we consider to be an auspicious event. You've actually transformed this setting, and I wish it could remain like this. Absolutely stunning, absolutely beautiful. We welcome you to the constituency of St. George Southeast, and in particular, the village of Marion. Today for me has been extremely busy because I'm just out from two prior funerals this afternoon. But this event is one that is very significant, not only for the residents of this community and surrounding communities, but all of Grenada, because it is no secret that we do have a challenge with our younger generation, and in particular, our male folks. And as leaders within the community, all of us are deeply concerned with the direction of our young people, and in particular, our young men. We, earlier this year, were awakened with a spate of gun violence. That is something that is not commonplace in our society, and we cannot accept this as our new way of life. In our celebration of our 50th anniversary, having grown to 50, we must look beyond settling our scores with violence, but now focus on how we build strong careers, strong families, and a stronger youth generation that will take up the mantle of leadership to lead our country into prosperity. Ladies and gentlemen, this initiative by the Ministry of Social and Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs, and in particular by our minister, must be highly commended. And having not recognized that there was a protocol, let me take this opportunity to welcome our Prime Minister, the Honorable Deacon Mitchell, who is here with us this afternoon, our Minister for Finance, the Honorable Dennis Cornwall, Pastor Happy, leaders from within the Ministry of Social and Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs, and others. But I take this opportunity to single out the lady of the moment, Senator the Honorable Gloria A. Thomas. So I don't want to be long, and I deliberately left you for last because I know the pulse that you feel for our young men. You speak about this almost every cabinet sitting. And I want to say to our young folks who are listening and who are going to be the beneficiaries of this program, I want to say to you, make the most of this. This is your opportunity to change your life, to do something useful, to do something that is uplifting and beneficial to yourself and to your communities. With these few words, I welcome you again to Marion and St. George Southeast. God's blessings to you all.
Thank you so much, Honorable Philip Telesford, for your welcome remarks. And we do have quite a few remarks lined up because this is such a big deal this afternoon. And we have another lady that I'm proud to be in the presence of. She's been, should I say I'm not sure if I should say breaking ceilings, but you're doing a lot, and a lot of good for the nation's youth, women, and children, and men as well. The brief remarks, ladies and gentlemen, will be delivered this afternoon by Mrs. Naomi Jeremiah. She's the Permanent Secretary with responsibility for social development, gender affairs, Ministry of Social and Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs. Ms. Jeremiah.
Thank you, Madam of Ceremony. Pleasant good afternoon. I'd like to stand on the protocol established, but I'd like to just recognize in our midst the Honorable Prime Minister, Dr. Deacon Mitchell, for his presence here with us this afternoon. Also, my Minister Gloria Ann Thomas, a woman of power and a woman of action. I'd like to also welcome Honorable Philip Telesford for his presence as the Minister of Health and also the representative for St. George's Southeast, and also our Minister for Finance, Honorable Dennis Cornwall. Welcome, and I know today is a happy day for us. We are indeed happy at the Ministry of Social Development today because we have been reaching our goals in terms of our strategic goals and our vision for the ministry. And as a ministry, we are indeed happy to be here at this huge launch, which signals that some of our mission and vision are being reached within 2024. The ministry experienced some implementation challenges early with the launch of this HYPE program. But due to my dedicated staff, the commitment of my minister and cabinet, we are able to have the rollout of this HYPE mentorship program commence. This program is interesting because as our community faces increasing crime among youths, we also got the urge to push this program forward. We know that our youths are out there hurting. They need the mentor, they need the support, they need the love. They need to know that we here at the ministry, our doors remain open for each and every one of you. We know when crimes are committed, that is not just the persons who are involved in the crime, but the community feels the effect of what is happening with our youths. And today we are very happy to have the vision to having launched this very interested high program. After today is just the 31st of the month, on the 1st of July, we know that we was ravaged with Hurricane Beryl, but as a team, we reviewed and we say, you know what, we will continue on the path that we are on, because even though the hurricane has come past, we have recovery, we have a response. My ministry is very busy in providing psychosocial support and getting the data for the social impact of Beryl, but we have seen the need to continue on with such a program. This program emphasizes prevention, 3 pillars: prevention, diversion, and reintegration. Prevention from crime, diversion to more worthwhile activities for our young persons, and ensuring that our young persons are integrated in our society. It aims to provide specialized care and assistance to young individuals who find themselves in conflict with the law. The vision behind the National HYPE Mentoring Program is to provide alternative adult support and guidance to youths, and to ensure that in the end, that the role as mentors and mentees are reached through our social networks and resources to promote constructive adaptation to their lives. On this note, I would like to thank my staff at the ministry, in particular those who are always out there going the extra mile. We've been working late most nights to ensure that the social needs of our persons in the aftermath of Beryl are met. And I'd like to thank them amidst that they were able to do what we have to do here today. In particular, I'd like to mention the juvenile director, Mr. Delroy Date, for his astute stewardship and leadership in exercising this institution where we're able to launch today. Also, Ms. Carla for her role in coordinating, and also my Director Chrissy Worm Charles, for her love, support, and guidance through this all. And not forgetting the entire staff at the Ministry of Social Development, and including my PS Fingley, for his continued coordination with us. So we thank you, and may this launch and the activities that take place at this launch be meaningfully and well orchestrated, all for the development of our nation's youth. May God bless us all. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam PS. At this time, we'll take a short entertainment break. Treating us to dance this afternoon, the youth company of the Conception Dance Theatre. This afternoon's choreography was done by Michaela Noel. I'd just like to let you know, since we are in the spirit of youth, supporting youth, celebrating youth, the dance troupe or the group, they range through the ages, between the ages of 13 and 15 years old. Ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to Conception Dance Theatre.
I keep counting my blessings and blessings and blessings. Blessings and blessings and blessings. Nothing. I still hold my head high. 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 High.
Thank you. Another round of applause for talented dancers. I was thinking of a move to do just to kill time while they set up the mic, but yeah, I didn't stretch, so. But what a wonderful, I've known many faces there, I've known them as little tots, and it's amazing to see how much they've grown, and now they're doing choreography. And Ms. Griffith, where are you? Listen, you can pass on the baton to any of them. You're in good hands, we're in good hands. Wonderful. So now we move on, and this time we will have brief remarks presented by the SAO to our Permanent Secretary. Of course, Mr. Finley Jeffrey is not with us today, unfortunately, but Mrs. Suzanne Hood Williams, his SAO, she is here proudly representing, and she will deliver the brief remarks on his behalf. Please welcome her.
Thank you, Madam Chairperson, Mrs. Lexan Fletcher. Honorable Dickon Mitchell, Prime Minister, Minister for National Security, Home Affairs, Public Administration, Information and Disaster Management. Honorable Gloria Thomas, Minister, my Minister for Social and Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs. Honorable Philip Telesford, Minister for Health and Parliament Representative for St. George Southeast. Honorable Minister Dennis Cornwall, Minister for Finance. Mrs. Naomi Jeremiah, Permanent Secretary, Social Development and Gender Affairs, Ministry of Social and Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs. Mrs. Chrissy Worm Charles, Director of Social Development, Ministry of Social and Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs. Mr. Tevin Shepard, Program Management Specialist, Youth, USAID, Eastern and Southern Caribbean Mission. Dr. Roxanne Brazan St. Martin, Program Director, Health, Social Inclusion and Social Protection, OECS Commission. Pastor Happy Akesi, I hope I spelled it right, Thy Kingdom Come, Deliverance Sanctuary. Members of the civil society, other senior government officials, staff of the Ministry of Social Development, special invited guests, members of the media, members of the Marian community and surrounding areas, a special good afternoon to each and every one of you. It is with great pleasure and immense pride that I stand before you today on behalf of my Permanent Secretary, Mr. Finley Jeffrey, on this occasion of the official launch of the National Harnessing Young Potential Excellence HYPE Mentoring Program. This historic occasion represents a significant stride forward in our collective commitment to nurturing and guiding our youth, especially those who find themselves in conflict with the law. The Department of Community Development is honored to have played a pivotal role in bringing this vision to fruition. Our dedication to enhancing community well-being and fostering a supportive environment for all members of our society has been the driving force behind our efforts to retrofit and prepare this community center as the HYPE headquarters. This center now stands as a testament to our shared commitment to empowering our youth and fostering positive change within our communities. The Department of Community Development and the Department of Social Development, both integral parts of our ministry, have worked closely to ensure the success of this initiative. Our collaboration underscores the synergy between our departments and our united focus on the welfare of Grenada's youth. By aligning our resources, expertise, and dedication, we have laid a strong foundation for the HYPE mentoring program to strive and make a meaningful impact. The HYPE mentoring program embodies the principles outlined in our juvenile justice policy, particularly those centered around prevention, community involvement, and the holistic development of our young people. Through the coordination of government and civil society, reduced opportunities for offending and continuous monitoring, we aim to create an environment where every youth can reach their full potential. I extend heartfelt gratitude to all who have contributed to the realization of this program, especially Director of Juvenile Justice, Mr. Delroy Date, my good friend, and Ms. Carla Bean. Your collective efforts are instrumental in ensuring that our youth receive the guidance and opportunities that need to contribute positively to our nation's future. As we move forward, let us remain steadfast in our commitment to the well-being and advancement of our young people. The Department of Community Development stands ready to assist in any way, shape, or form to ensure that this program is a resounding success. Together, let's continue to foster a supportive, nurturing environment where every youth can thrive, become a valued member of our society. I thank you so much.
Thank you so very much, SAO, Ms. Hood Williams. And at this time, we move on to the overview. The overview of the Division of Juvenile Justice and HYPE Mentoring Program. To deliver the overview this afternoon, I'd like to invite Mrs. Chrissy Worm-Charles. She is the Director of Social Development at the Ministry of Social Community Development, Housing, and Gender Affairs. Good afternoon.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Honorable Dickon Mitchell, Prime Minister, Minister for National Security and Home Affairs, Public Administration, Information and Disaster Management, Honorable Gloria Thomas, Minister for Social and Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs, Honorable Philip Telesford, Minister for Health and Parliamentary Representative for St. George South East, Honorable Dennis Cornwall, Minister of Finance, other esteemed guests, and in particular I want to highlight our sisters from Carriacou who would have joined us here today, so we welcome you as well. Ms. Susan Hood Williams, representing Mr. Finley Jeffrey, Permanent Secretary with responsibility for Community Development and Housing, Ministry of Social and Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs. Mrs. Naomi Jeremiah, Permanent Secretary with responsibility for Social Development and Gender Affairs, Ministry of Social and Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs. Our online esteemed guest, Mr. Tevin Shepard, Program Management Specialist Youth, USAID Eastern and Southern Caribbean Mission, Dr. Roxanne Brizan St. Martin. Program Director, Health, Social Inclusion and Social Protection, OECS Commission, and all other invited guests. The pleasure is mine today to speak a bit on our HYPE mentorship program and elaborate a little bit further as to what the program's intention and objectives are. Now, the HYPE mentorship program was birthed out of the creative lab of the ministry. It was designed by Mr. Samuel St. Bernard, our planning officer, Ms. Cinta Alexis, our senior program officer, Ms. Carla Bain, our social worker, Ms. Laverne Forsyth, our data analyst, and Ms. Tisha Victor, one of our planning officers. It was grounded in the ethos that every child living in Grenada will be supported to lead a crime-free life and make a positive contribution to society. Thus, the vision statement created reflected this core principle, and I quote, "Creating an enabling environment to guide children to identify and harness their strengths to achieve their full potential to ultimately becoming responsible citizens." The vision therefore forms the core thrust of the mission, which seeks to channel children's potential and key strengths through a robust child-friendly program that will facilitate the best opportunities for growth and development. The mentorship program rests upon the pillars that have held the ministry's purpose and goals alive, placing people at the center of its practice, being the main provider of social safety net and social protection in Grenada, being the vanguard and responsible for programmatic interventions that target vulnerable and at-risk groups, which our youth falls under. As the ministry continuously reviewed its programs, services, and empirical data, it recognized the urgent need to reform our juvenile justice system. The government of Grenada therefore embarked on reforming its juvenile justice system with the intention of preventing and diverting potential offenders into positive living and to rehabilitate offenders, a very key and important part of our functionalities in the ministry. The reformation process was complemented by the institutionalization of a juvenile justice division in full effect, Mr. Lee. The aim is delivering comprehensive juvenile justice services through a systematic approach. It is informed by a method that is very distinct from adult penal system. The juvenile justice framework, which supports and manages the response of the juvenile justice system, one of the key identified areas is the principle of prevention. Very, very key in terms of the developmental pathway for young people. The specific guidelines for the policy, it forms the basis of the prevention activities. They are as follows: the coordination of prevention initiatives between government and civil society. Together we stand. The interdisciplinary collaboration, a reduction in opportunities for committing offenses, a definition of responsibility for all those involved, a regular audit and a register of the programs, services, facilities, and resources, voluntary participation, the involvement of the community, the participation of children, trained personnel who specialize at all levels, and continuous monitoring. It is from this perspective that the National HYPE Mentoring Program was conceptualized. So the question is, why the creation of the HYPE Mentorship Program? So this program was created to develop adequate interventions for our children. And we believe that an effective mentorship program will mitigate the negative environmental risks like deviant peers, lack of positive role models, and poverty, which are associated with the likelihood of youths coming into conflict with the law. Through structured activities, mentees will transition to pro-social supportive environments, which will facilitate the development of resilient behaviors that protects from the environmental risk factors. The expected impacts of the program are as follows: reduction of problem behaviors and risk factors, decreased recidivism, substance use, and an increase in our resiliency. Improved youth positive adaptation and functioning, improved self-esteem and optimism, positive mental and physical health, pro-social behaviors, successful transition into healthy, productive adults, improved employment opportunities. Notwithstanding the impact of the National Hype Mentoring Program, the framework was developed around the context of providing alternative adult support and guidance to children in conflict with the law. It is believed that through mentor-mentee relationship, mentors will foster positive behaviors which will facilitate the mentee's transition to fulfilling their rights, and that is their full potential. It is expected that the Hype Mentorship Program, or Hype Mentors, will be positive role models with the potential to connect mentees to different social networks and resources that promote positive adaptation in the mentees' lives. Hence, the Hype Mentors will encourage the mentees to live up to their potential while simultaneously providing mentees with sincere, unconditional friendships. The ministry notes that a caring and supportive mentee relationship is a foundation for any successful mentoring program. Implementation of the National Hype Mentoring Program will involve strategic measures to ensure the sustainability and success of the prevention diversion interventions. The measures include ongoing effort to engage and retrain mentors, coordinated partnership with our court system, Royal Grenada Police Force, Child Protection Authority, the Juvenile Justice System, Ministry of Education, and Ministry of Youth, and also establishing memorandum of understandings with the private sector and civil society. These measures will allow for a coordinated, holistic approach to providing services to our at-risk youths and youth in conflict with the law. The National Hype Mentorship Program is visualized to eventually provide 5 types of mentoring, which includes group mentoring, 1 mentor to up to 4 mentees, team mentoring, several mentors working with small groups of mentees, peer mentoring, youth mentoring a younger mentee, e-mentoring, mentoring via the internet, blended structure, face-to-face, as well as virtual. In the first instance, the program will begin with the group team mentoring model and will eventually expand to incorporate different models as deemed necessary. The program development model will begin with the character, social and leadership development, and as the mentoring program expands, it will include academic success and career guidance. Recommended venues for mentor-mentee meetings are in the community, workplace, school, online, the Hype Mentoring Program office, and the church. As the Hype Mentorship Program takes off, we are reminded of our obligations to our youth to ensure that they are provided with the opportunities that awaken their full potential. We acknowledge that collectivism is a strong pillar of resilience. It reinforces the idea that we can build our nation through community care. The Hype Mentorship Program is the beginning of great things ahead. Let's continue to support, build, and encourage our youth development. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Wilma Charles, for that thorough and in-depth breakdown of the overview. Thank you so very much. At this time, we have another treat coming up by Harper's Music School. They're going to perform a song for us, and then we continue with the program. Thank you so much. Treating us to the rendition of Dashes Greater there, members of Harper's Music School. At this time, I'd like to invite to the podium to deliver her remarks Honorable Gloria Thomas, Minister for Social and Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs.
Thank you, Madam Masters of Ceremony. Honorable Deacon Mitchell, Prime Minister. Honorable Philip Telesford, Minister for Health and Parliamentary Representative for St. George's Southeast. Minister for Finance, Cabinet colleague Dennis Cornwell. Mrs. Naomi Jeremiah, Permanent Secretary with responsibility for social development and gender affairs. Representative for Mr. Finley Jeffrey, SAO, Ms. Susan Hood Williams. Mrs. Chrissy Worm Charles, Director of Social Development in the Ministry of Social and Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs. Our 50th speaker, Mr. Tevin Shepard, Program Management Specialist for Youth, USAID Eastern and Southern Caribbean Mission. Other special invited guests, visiting friends from Carriacou, senior members of the Ministry of Social Development, staff, members of the Marion community and surrounding areas, members of the media. Pleasant good afternoon to all. It is with an immense pleasure to address you today at the launch of the National Hannison Youth Potential Excellence Mentorship Program. Today, we gather to launch a transformative initiative that represents our commitment to the youth of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit-Martinique, and they are our collective future. As the Minister for Social and Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs, I am proud to stand before you today to share the vision and commitment of my government as we seek to address the challenges of youth and the crime and violence that have become so prevalent in our nation. It is therefore important to pay particular attention to the diversion and rehabilitation of children in conflict with the law. In January 2021, the government of Grenada approved the HYPE mentoring program and has recently approved the human resources budget to staff this well-needed and impressive program. The program is tailored to work with juveniles who may come into conflict with the law or who are at risk of becoming so. The approval of HYPE marked a pivotal step towards the realization of a safer and more nurturing environment for the nation's youth. The HYPE program was conceptualized to be a powerful intervention emphasizing prevention, diversion, and reintegration. These principles will help our youth recognize the value, potential, and how they can contribute to nation building. Unfortunately, our youth are often exposed to a range of negative influences, such as deviant behavior among peers, the absence of positive role model, the absence of fathers in their lives, harsh parental punishment, and in some instances, the harsh realities of poverty. The delinquency climate in Grenada presents a significant challenge. These factors, if not addressed, can lead to destructive behaviors that not only harm the individual involved, but also affect the broader community. Within this context, the importance of effective diversion options become evident and relevant. The HYPE mentoring program, therefore, aims to provide specialized care and assistance for youth. The vision behind the National HYPE Mentorship Program is to provide alternative adult support and guidance to children in conflict with the law. We believe that by fostering positive mentor-mentee relationship, mentors will serve as role models and help connect mentees to valuable social networks and resources that will benefit them in adapting positively to life and its many challenges. Moreover, I would like to acknowledge our brothers and sisters in Carriacou and Petit-Martinique. After the devastation of Hurricane Beryl, our communities have faced immense challenges. My ministry continues to diligently work towards supporting the rebuilding and recovery process. The destruction has not only affected the physical infrastructure, but also strained the social and economic fabric of our sister isle. It is our intention to offer this intervention to the youth of our sister island in the not too distant future. We believe that HYPE mentoring program can play a crucial role in the recovery process. We can help them rebuild their lives and communities. The program offers hope and direction at a time when it is desperately needed to strengthen resilience and growth as we move forward. I am pleased to announce that the USAID OECS Opportunity Advance and Support Youth for Success Project Work Plan for Grenada, which has been approved to support this initiative, will roll out. The launch of the HYPE mentoring program is a key part of this collaboration. The partnership is a testament to the dedication and investment of our social partners, USAID and OECS, in the well-being and development of our youth. USAID has a long history of supporting development projects worldwide, focusing on various sectors, including health, education, and economic growth. Through the OECS project, USAID aims to empower young people in the Eastern Caribbean by providing them with the necessary tools and opportunities to succeed. This project is designed to address critical issues such as juvenile delinquency, unemployment, and lack of access to education and vocational training. By doing so, it helps create a more inclusive and prosperous future for our youth. The HYPE mentorship program, as part of this collaboration, is expected to serve as the model mentorship program for OECS member states, setting a standard for effective and compassionate youth intervention across the region. The program will offer guidance, support, and positive role models to at-risk youth, helping them navigate the challenges they face and empower them to make positive life choices. We are grateful for their partnership and look forward to seeing the positive impact of the HYPE mentorship program on the youth of our tri-island state. Our government is committed to addressing the challenges of youth who are involved in crime and violence through this comprehensive approach to dealing with juvenile delinquency. The National HYPE Mentoring Program stands as a testament to our dedication of creating meaningful changes and offering hope to our young people. As we embark on this journey, I want to extend my heartfelt gratitude to all the mentors who have stepped forward to participate in the program. Your willingness to invest your resources, time, energy, skill, expertise, and care into the lives of our young people is truly commendable. To the mentees, I encourage you to embrace the opportunity with an open heart and mind and a positive attitude. The program is designed to support you, to help you realize your potential, and to guide you towards a brighter future. My charge, therefore, to the residents of the Marion community and surrounding areas is to continue to look out for our youth and make a deliberate effort to build strong, supportive communities. It is within these communities that our young people find the first role models, the first source of encouragement, and the first experience of support for the sense of belonging. In conclusion, the National HYPE Mentorship Program is more than just an initiative. It is a beacon of hope for our youth. It represents our collective commitment to nurturing, guiding, and empowering the next generation. Together, we can create safer, more supportive communities where every young person can thrive. Thank you, and let us all work together to make this vision a reality. Thank you.
Thank you. Minister Thomas, thank you so much for your remarks. We have two speakers this afternoon, of course, our featured speaker and one of our other representatives of the OECS Commission will be actually joining us virtually. And the first is featured speaker, Mr. Tevin Shepard. He is the Program Management Specialist, Youth, with USAID, Eastern and Southern Caribbean ESC Mission. At this time, Mr. Shepard will be joining us, as I just mentioned, virtually. He's our featured speaker.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Please allow me to adopt the protocol that has already been established, but I would like to recognize, of course, the Honorable Deacon Mitchell and his cabinet, and also want to congratulate him on successfully hosting the CARICOM Heads of Government Conference earlier this week. I am honored to present before you today as we celebrate the relaunch of the Harnessing Youth Potential Excellence, or HYPE Mentorship Program, which is a vital initiative of the government of Grenada that has been so close to our hearts at the United States Agency for International Development, or USAID, since its inception in 2021. Today, we are not just continuing a journey, but we are reinvigorating our commitment to shaping a brighter future for the youth of Grenada. HYPE represents more than just a series of activities. It's a beacon of hope and a lifeline for young people who have faced challenges and have found themselves in conflict with the law. It is a testament to the power of second chances and the belief that with the right guidance and support, our youth can overcome any obstacles and achieve greatness. This program provides a structured environment where young people can engage in meaningful mentorship. HYPE also teaches youth essential life skills, and perhaps most importantly, it helps them find the encouragement they need to turn their lives around. USAID's support of Grenadian youth through the Opportunities to Advance and Support Youth for Success, affectionately known as OASIS, is a clear signal that USAID is dedicated to making a tangible difference in the lives of the young people of Grenada. We see their potential even when they might not always see it themselves. So by offering young people an alternative path, we are not only helping them to avoid a cycle of crime and punishment, but also empowering them to become productive, positive members of society. HYPE is a collaborative effort, and I'd like to extend heartfelt congratulations to the government of Grenada for the Juvenile Justice Division of the Ministry of Social and Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs, and the OECS Commission, of course, for their unwavering commitment to the youth of Grenada. Your investment in the future of Grenadia's youth is invaluable, and we are deeply grateful for this partnership. So the young people of Grenada, I want to say this: you are the future of Grenada. Your potential is boundless, and we believe in you. The HYPE Mentorship Program is here to help you harness that potential and to provide you with the opportunities you deserve. Embrace this chance, work hard, and never lose sight of your dreams. So as we continue, as we move forward with the revamped Hype Mentorship Program, let us all commit to supporting the young people of Grenada, fostering their talents and creating a society where every young person has the opportunity to thrive. Together, we can build a brighter and more inclusive future for Grenada. So thank you so much, and I hope that this program continues to inspire and transform the lives of young people of Grenada. Thank you.
Delivering his remarks. And we'll take just a short break again for another dance presentation from the Conception Dance Theatre Youth Company. This next piece was choreographed by Prince Andrews. So, yes, I think we're clear. I think we need to get these off, and then we'll welcome the dancers.
pressure for my nigga. Stop drinking, babe. Tequila down there hits me for liver. It's like the indica, it is sativa. Anytime that I smoke, this girl's been looking like wife materials. Is it this or that? If I seek, I find how I feel inside. I will let you know I am super high. I can feel my eyes. They say love is blind, but I can't see you. Oh yeah, the pantas, 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 the pantas.
Somebody, oh, I was going to say something, but my mic is on. I think I'm getting extra vitamin D today, boy. Extra vitamin D today. But that's okay, because we have another presentation coming up. We could have- I think the Prime Minister is just lining up his cool spot, you know. But he's acting as if it's really my interest he's seeking here. But I know you're lining up your cool spot. You could come here. Sorry. Are we okay here, Leroy? We're okay? I know the cameramen have to shift things around, but you know, those cameras are pretty flexible. They can do a thing or two. I know that. Thank you very much, gentlemen. And another round of applause for the youth dancers, of course, Conception Dance Theatre Youth Company. Cool t-shirts, by the way, dancers. Very cool t-shirts, very cool. So, as you could probably tell, that we have another virtual presentation coming up. As a matter of fact, the remarks, this time by Dr. Roxanne Brazan St. Martin. She is the Program Director, Health, Social Inclusion, and Social Protection, OECS Commission.
Thank you and good afternoon, everyone. Honorable Dickon Mitchell, Prime Minister of Grenada, Carriacou and PT Martinique, and members of your cabinet, Honorable Gloria Thomas, Minister for Social and Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs, Honorable Philip Telesford, Minister of Health and Parliament Representative of St. George Southeast, Honorable Dennis Cornwall, Minister of Finance, senior officials within the Ministry of Social and Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs, Mrs. Naomi Jeremiah, the representative for Mr. Finley Jeffrey, Mrs. Chrissy Worm Charles, Mr. Delron Date, Mr. Tevin Shepard, Programs Management Specialist for Youth with USAID Eastern and Southern Caribbean Mission, Pastor Happier Casey, all other invited guests, members of the Grenadian community. It is an honor to bring remarks on behalf of the OECS Commission, the Director General, Dr. Didicus Jules, and the head of the Human and Social Division, Mrs. Cicera Simon. The Opportunities to Advance and Support Youth for Success OASIS project, which is closely linked to the HYPE Mentorship Program, it sits within the Human and Social Division under my purview as Program Director for Health, Social Inclusion, and Social Protection. The OASIS project is a 4-year project funded by the USAID, and it's being implemented by the OECS Commission. This project, it prioritizes children and youth intervention to enhance opportunities for success in the region. Specifically, OASIS aims to strengthen the child and youth justice system across 6 OECS member states, namely Antigua and Barbuda, the Commonwealth of Dominica, Grenada, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Its focus is on providing avenues for diversion, rehabilitation, and reintegration for children and youth ages 10 to 29 who are in conflict with the law. The strategic approach of the project is aligned to 4 main components, each with its sub-activities, objectives, and output. Component A speaks to legislative harmonization and policy framework development across the territories. Component B speaks to diversion, rehabilitation, and reintegration process and programming. The HYPE program falls within this component with a theory of change that states if more young people in conflict with the law are legally protected and diverted into quality diversion and alternative programs, this part of the theory speaks directly to the project pillar of rehabilitation that mentorship through the HYPE program caters to. It must be noted that the strides to implement this rehabilitative initiative began during the JJRP, that is the Juvenile Justice Reform Project. During that time, the OECS Commission supported the member states with renovation and retrofitting of the Marian Community Center as the designated space for the HYPE program. This launch celebrates the labor, dedication, and commitment placed into creating this opportunity to support the healing of children and youth in conflict with the law. The other two components of the project speaks to institutional and system strengthening, as well as behavior modification through communication. The project is entering its third year of implementation, and as we close the second year and move into this third year, the OECS Commission is committed to exploring opportunities to support the implementation of this initiative. The OASIS project, and by extension, the HYPE program, is aligned with the OECS Commission's strategic priority, that of advancing equity and inclusion. Within this priority, the Commission has set a priority, the need to reduce disparities in social outcomes and enhance policies and practices for children and youth in conflict with the law. Again, we see the connection with the HYPE program, for it is especially poised to advance this agenda with a focus on reducing the interactions of our youth with the criminal court system, both nationally and regionally. Within the context of our Sustainable Development Goals, achievements in this area will contribute significantly to Sustainable Development Goal 10, which speaks to reducing inequality within and among countries with spillover effects to other goals and indicators. Colleagues, in the scheme of sustainability, which is defined by Mohan Munasinghi as development which meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs, the role of youth is sacrosanct in the development agenda, particularly within our small island developing states and our resource constraints. I want to draw us to the name HYPE and a reminder that there is power in name and the ability to speak life into the youths of the program. I remind us of functional definitions, harnessing, not in the context of controlling in an absolute sense, but to use or to remind the youths of the power that they possess, empowering them through family and community support, positive peer groups, a strong sense of self and self-esteem, letting them know that their ideas and contributions are valued. The word potential, it speaks to also empowering them to see their value and their capabilities, enforcing and affirming to them that they are agents of change and they can do anything they put their minds to. We then encourage them and we support them in their ambitions, showing the value of developing a spirit of excellence in all that they are doing, and as we like to say, putting their best foot forward. The reality is that youths face many challenges that grow and change by the day. Socioeconomic adversities, peer pressures, academic struggles, and more. Through this program, a different perspective can be offered, one that is based on a principle of trust, understanding, and mutual respect. If correctly executed, it can provide stability and consistency, life skills development, and boost their self-esteem. To the staff involved in this initiative, you are also agents of change. And while you are employed by the government of Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique, remember that the work that you do is for the youth or the children and young people who you interact with daily. Yes, we are all agents of change, and the way or ways in which we strategically plan, implement, or execute this initiative has a direct impact on their lives with spillover effects to the development of Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique. As I conclude, allow me to extend congratulations to the Juvenile Justice Unit, the Ministry of Social and Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs, and by extension, the Government of Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique on the launch of this initiative. Our team at the OACS Commission stands ready to provide the necessary support to ensure that the program achieves its intended outcome and impacts the lives of the children and youth of the nation positively. On behalf of the team, we thank you for the invitation and we look forward to collaborating with you as you move forward with this initiative to effect change nationally and regionally. Let us always aim to hold each other accountable, recognizing that our influence as agents of change and the value of our youth as a resource. I thank you.
Dr. Roxanne Brezan Martin, thank you so very much for your contributions in terms of your remarks for this esteemed and momentous occasion. Ladies and gentlemen, one and all, for those of you viewing online as well, at this point in time, at this juncture, I'd like to take the time to invite Honorable Deacon Mitchell to the podium, of course, Prime Minister, Ministry of National Security, Home Affairs, Public Administration, Information and Disaster Management, and Minister for Infrastructure. Honorable Minister. Honorable Prime Minister.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Fletcher. Good afternoon, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. All right, I did say you were distinguished. Let me re-emphasize, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I wish to recognize, in particular, the Honorable Philip Tillisford, the MP for this area. I was teasing his colleague minister that I understand why he was praising us so much, since his constituency community building is benefiting from an upgrade as a result of the HYPE program. And he was advocating that everything else here should stay. So I understand why, in addition to coming to personally support her, he has a little skin in the game. So I want to especially commend Minister and her team for their steadfast and almost relentless pursuit of the launch of this HYPE program. And I say this because she has been very passionate about advocating for action, not advocating, because sometimes we advocate and then we don't do anything, but advocating for action and then making sure the action takes place in ensuring that the necessary social and cultural interventions that are required, I think I can take this off now, that are required to help address crime, criminality, and deviant behavior is done by the community, is done by the villages, is done by the family. And I was sitting here saying that I think I've counted 6 or 7 speeches before me, and the danger with coming last is that you really don't have anything useful that you could add to all of what has been said. But I will attempt, and I will also attempt to be short. I want to piggyback a little on the fact that we just concluded the CARICOM Heads of Conference meeting, and to share with you that the item that dominated the discussions, and there were lots of things on the discussions, but the item that dominated the conference, particularly the caucus between the prime ministers and their foreign ministers or the ministers with responsibility for CARICOM, was the issue of crime. In fact, I had to insist at around 11 p.m. on Monday night that people needed to have dinner in order to end the discussions on the issue of crime, criminality, and our response to it. And in fact, only 2 statements have been put out as a result of the conclusion of the CARICOM Heads of Conference. One in relation to Cuba, and one in relation to crime and violence. And so I want to read parts of the statement because I think it's important for us to emphasize that the government of Grenada takes the need to ensure that we treat with crime and violence not just from a fear and fright and a panic, but from a more purposeful and deliberate attempt to improve our communities is something that we take seriously. So I'm going to read parts of the statement. It says, we, CARICOM heads of government, are deeply concerned by the levels of crime and violence in the region, fueled in part by firearms and ammunition trafficking, transnational criminal networks, and a deterioration of social structures. And for me, this is the critical part that links what we are doing here this afternoon with the statement. We are also particularly concerned about the impact of crime and violence on young people and children. And so I want to pause here because to some extent we are lucky in Grenada, to some extent, but I want to give some regional perspective and context on what we're dealing with. And we could start with our brothers and sisters in Haiti. And I spent my first hour this morning speaking to the Prime Minister of Haiti to get a briefing on the current situation in Haiti. 50% of the gangs in Haiti are made up of children. Children, not even teenagers, children. In Jamaica and Trinidad, the shooters, the people who pull the trigger, or the shatters, depending on whether it's out or not, many of them are children. And so when we are talking about crime and violence and how we treat with it, this is not a simple issue, especially when it comes to the impact of crime and violence on young people and children, both as perpetrators and as victims. Now, if any of you here by chance would have been at the conference, the youth ambassador who represented young people in CARICOM was a Grenadian young man from Lakabeke. And he made quite an articulate and eloquent speech. And I could tell he had quite an impact on the heads yesterday. And the Minister for Foreign Affairs of Jamaica asked him a specific question as to, because Jamaica has that problem, what was his recommendation as a young man for treating with children and young people who are in the positions where they are the ones doing the killing or the maiming or the robbing or the stealing or the intimidation or whatever else it is they're dealing with. And he talked about his own experiences as a young man coming from, he termed the area, in his view, one of the rougher areas of Grenada. But I make that point to say that it is important for us to hear from the youth, and in some cases the children, as to how we address the social and the cultural interventions. And I'm saying cultural here as well because the culture may very well be a big tool that we have to use to shape their values and their behaviors. And culture isn't static. And a lot of what is called crime is because we've made it a crime. And oftentimes a lot of what creates the tension or introduces a young person to the criminal justice system is because we still have a lot of things that perhaps should not be criminalized. Or perhaps because they criminalize, it creates a culture where everything else is criminalized. Grenada has one of, and I'm the minister responsible for national security, the highest incarceration rates per capita in the world. It means, on average, for every individual Grenadian, we jail more Grenadians or send them to jail. So it means our tools for dealing with crime and criminality, particularly amongst young people, needs a serious revision. Because the problem with that is that the risk that you are going to create a proper criminal, one that is beyond redemption, is very, very high. And that is what has happened in the case of Grenada. That is why we have this high incarceration rate, because we are essentially putting back people repeatedly in prison. And so the very small investment that the government is making here, I think it's about $600,000 if we add the bus and the $500,000. I told Minister I was going to say the figures because sometimes people say the government doesn't care about young people and they're only talking. Money is actually being spent in order for this to happen. She also indicated to me that we need more male mentors. And so I want to advocate by putting myself and the males in the cabinet and the government of Grenada first to lead by example by having us sign up to be trained as part of the mentorship program so that when we go to ask for volunteers, we are not being hypocrites and that we can do so. And I really want to make this plea for men. A lot of older men in particular talk, they criticize the young men, etc. But talking and criticizing isn't mentoring, right? It isn't helping, and we need a lot of help. And if we doubt the investment is worth it, I think we just have to think of how we feel when we hear that there's another crime, whether it's a murder, a rape, or some violent incident, and it's hitting close to home. Do you feel comfortable? Do you feel safe? And you have to weigh that against perhaps just spending a little more time to talk to a young man, to encourage him and to help him. And I'm going to give you a personal experience I had, which I shared with the cabinet, I think last week. I went to visit my old law firm very early in the morning, and I saw what you may call a suspicious young man hanging out around the general complex of the building. And he said he wanted to speak to me, so I told him on my way back I would speak to him. So I went, I collected the documents I needed to collect, and then he said to me that his sister works in my law firm. I was like, well, I've never heard of you. So I'm like, okay. And he's like, well, you know, I just got released from the prison on the 2nd of July. Or the 3rd, either the 2nd or the 3rd of July. And I'm like, so why are you doing here? And he's like, well, I need help. I have no place to stay. I have no money, etc., etc. And I don't think my sister wants to see me. Or maybe she must have seen him a couple of times, tried to help, but probably she'd washed her hands. I did have a conversation with some of my staff, and they more or less viewed him as a nuisance, repeatedly coming back, etc., etc. I asked him whether he knew Richard Simon. He said no. I said, do you know Jude Hector? He said yes. He knew Jude Hector. So I said to him, well, you know, they have a program where they try and help persons who've come out of prisons. And so I would try and see if I could find a way for you to get to see them. I said they're in Mondelez. Good Hope, right. And then he said to me, well, usually he would be in the complex and some lady would feed him or give him food. She wasn't there, so he had nothing to eat. So he wanted $20. Now, to be honest, I didn't have the money on me. I said I didn't have the money. So I said to him, you know, but I still think you should go up to Good Hope. And then he started to complain. Yes, I know I'm a nuisance, I'm a this, I'm a that. I said, but you know, you can actually get a ride. Like you can go, you know, Grandlands to Good Hope isn't that far. You can get a ride to town, you can get a ride up. He said, you know, nobody's going to give him a ride. People going to this, people going to that, people going to this. And I jumped in the vehicle and I started driving away. And I asked myself, I think before I got to Wall Street, whether I had made, despite my own busy schedule, a sufficient effort to really try and help this young man. Because what is his alternative? His mental condition is such that he believes he's a nuisance. He's already formed the view that he's a good for nothing. So why attempt to do anything else but live up to that view? He's in his, I think I asked him his age, mid-20s. And there were obvious other things about him. When I gave him a pen and piece of paper, and I said to write the name Jude Hector, he could write the number, but he could not write the name. And he said to me, I'm not so good with the letters and so on, which means he's illiterate. So you could see the reasons why he is highly likely to end up where he's ended up and how he's ended up. So I called my staff back and I said to them, at least go out and give him the $20. I don't know whether he's made the effort or not. And I've kept the story because I'm hoping I may see him sometime again, or I may inquire and try and find him. But I just give this as a simple example about the mentoring. Because the reality is, if we really want to minimize the high rates of people going back and back to prison, particularly young men, we have to be prepared to move out of our comfort zone and actually help them. So it's clear to me, I inquired in a short conversation about who his mother was. And I can clearly tell you, he's ended up this way because he has had no parenting. And would have either been left to grow up on his own, or other people might have taken him in and tried as much as they can. And the difference perhaps between him and his sister is the fact that someone cared for. So I'm saying this to say that there are probably countless examples of this all around us. And we have to be prepared to perhaps give a little bit of 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, half an hour for our busy schedules to be prepared to say, you know what, even if it's one guy, I will attempt to help him. Because if not, the 400 people in the prison will become 800. We will build bigger prisons, more modern prisons, but the numbers will not go down. And the crime and the violence and the state of fear that grips the Caribbean, that grips our neighbors in Trinidad, in St. Vincent, in St. Lucia, in Jamaica, in Haiti, is going to get worse. And it will come home. And I think we experience ourselves how, with the wrong mindset, how with not valuing life, simply because somebody does X, you automatically respond with Y, and Y leads to Z, and before you know it, 7 or 8 young men are dead, and they probably have young boys who are children, who in turn will feel, well, if my father was killed as a gangster, I probably need to be a bigger gangster than him. And we end up like some parts of Jamaica where glorification of criminality becomes the norm. We are not too small for it not to happen. And to some extent, we've seen the evidence of it happening. And with the prevalence of social media, the world is democratized. People could share good, bad, or indifferent information instantly. So it requires us to have a collective, individual, community-based response to the value system, to how we grow our children, and I'm saying particularly males up, because the truth is there's probably 6 or 7 females in the prison. If all that. Less than that. 3. So it's all men. And the men are grown up by women, because most of the homes are still either single parent or female-headed households. So clearly, we can't say it is men who are growing up the men, and that's why they become criminals. It is because there are no men, more likely than not. So I'm giving this because I want to demonstrate my personal commitment to supporting all of the social and cultural interventions. So I want Minister and her team to know. There will be no budgetary fights. Don't abuse it. But there will be no budgetary fights, because you cannot value a safe society. You cannot value public safety in dollars and cents. And even if you valued it in dollars and cents, the public safety and a safe society will win all the time, because it is very expensive to maintain 400 people in a prison system. I don't know what the budget is for the prison, but it is millions and millions of dollars. And it is probably still inadequate. And it still doesn't give you peace of mind or safety, because if a prisoner escapes and you hear he's in a village, everybody's on their P's and Q's. So in the long run, it is still better to have less and less people as criminals, whether in truth they are or we deem them criminals, and less people in a prison. And so this is just one of the multifaceted strands of interventions that we need to look at collectively, not just in Grenada, but regionally as well, because hardened criminals have their own criminal networks. They trade and do business just like any other business people, and oftentimes they influence young people who are either marginalized or disadvantaged to believe that their way of life is something that is sustainable or attractive or sexy, and they could fall victims to that as well. So it is also going to require a regional approach, both from a justice perspective, law and legal system perspective, from a policing perspective. Stiffer penalties, etc., is just one facet, but that should be for adults proper. We have to make sure that our young people and our children don't get to the point where we are treating with them on this. So I didn't intend to talk this long, but I just want to emphasize to Minister and the team and to all of us who are here that you have my personal support, you have the support of the government of Grenada in ensuring that we can sustain programs like this throughout the length and breadth of Grenada to ensure that we minimize increases in our young men in particular and our young boys finding themselves being deemed criminals or becoming proper criminals. Thank you very much, and congratulations on the launch of the program.
Thank you very much, Honorable Prime Minister, for your eye-opening remarks and also little personal experiences here and there that are just suitable. And yeah, there's lots of incidences going on right now, such as the one that you shared. And I totally agree. If I'm allowed to share my 2 cents here, the absence of men in the home is really causing a major problem. And I'll just put this out here. Hope my husband doesn't get upset. We're going to get you to mentoring too, Mr. Fletcher. Good. And to all the men who are watching the program, well, not the program, this afternoon's Hype launch. We do have the ribbon cutting moment in just a few moments. But before that, we have another performance from a talented young lady. And I feel the urge to also say that this afternoon is a perfect example of mentorship. We have Cecilia Griffith mentoring her young dancers. We have Mr. Harper mentoring his team of musicians. And this young lady, she is definitely the apple from her mother's tree, all right? Akia McKee, the daughter of Sanaika McKee. And Sanaika, where are you? There you are, right on cue, getting ready to capture your daughter in action. Ladies and gentlemen, another budding talent taking up after her mother. Please welcome to perform for us this afternoon, Akia McKee.
Good evening, everyone. I'm one of the greatest of them all. Even when my faith is shaken, I'll still stand tall. There ain't no mountains too hard to climb. Even when my wings are broken, I still can fly. I still can fly. We're starting over. I'm one of the greatest of them all. Even when my faith is shaken, I'll still stand tall. There ain't no mountains too hard to climb. Even when my wings are broken, I still can fly. I still can fly. Among the giants, I may seem small, but what they don't know about me, I'll defeat them all. I'm mighty and powerful, I am unstoppable, a force to be reckoned with. You are a winner, you can fly. Oh, you can fly. Yeah, you can fly. Oh, you can fly. So don't hold back. Give all that you've got. It's your time to shine. Give all that's inside. So don't hold back. Give all that's inside. It's your time to shine. So don't hold back. Spread your wings and fly. Oh, you can fly. Yeah, you can fly. Oh, you can fly. I'm one of the greatest of them all. Even when my faith is shaken, I'll still stand tall.
Wow. Sonaika, I feel like I'm looking at you back in the day when you were a thriving artist, boy. Wow. Take a bow. Take a bow. Wow. Akaya Maki, thank you so much. Thank you so very much. At this time, folks, we move on to the ribbon cutting moment. I know the Prime Minister has to depart shortly, so sir, we would like you to do the honor of cutting the ribbon this afternoon. This is indeed an exciting time. It's the Juvenile Justice Division in collaboration with the OASIS Project. It's the official launch of the Harnessing Young Potential Excellence HYPE mentoring program. Of course, Prime Minister's flanked by Minister Telesford and Minister Thomas. Thank you so very much. Honorable Prime Minister, thank you very much. Thank you again. Thank you again for your presence here with us this afternoon and sharing and contributing. Best wishes, sir. So folks, we are getting closer and closer to the conclusion of this official launch right here in the community of Marianne. And we give you another treat, this time a performance by a little guy. He's so little I can't even see him, you know. Where is he? He is the 2024 Mr. Little Grenada. Oh, there he is. You can't miss him. He is. And again, another moment of mentoring, because that's his dad with him proud. You might have remembered Blaze from a few years back, or more than a few actually, with one of the hit songs for Spike's Mass. And this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite Kamari Francis, better known as, wait for it, Little Flame. So you know he on fire. With all the heat we had, he's bringing some more heat for us. So let me not say anything more, sir. You ready? I know you're ready. You were born ready. Welcome, Little Flame.
Fire! 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 Greetings to all you beautiful people, boys and girls. My name is Kamari Francis, aka Little Flame. Whether you're sitting or just on your feet, today, I will give you all a treat. So if you're asthmatic, diabetic, or problematic, you sure go like it, because this little flame will set the place on fire. You is a little flame via our signer. Say I'm ready, say I'm ready, say I'm ready, say I'm ready. So long I've been waiting, anticipating for my daddy to tell me go and hype it up. Hype it up, up, hey. Carnival is one time, watch you get on start to wine. Juve is my favorite thing, let me start it unless it's sweet. The mass is lovely, I would never put nothing else above it. Since I born, they told my dad I want to mash up place. Mash up everywhere and carry via. School is over, fun and children come to play. And mommy told me I better behave myself. So long I've been waiting, anticipating for my daddy to tell me go and hype it up. Hype it up, hey. Carnival is one time, watch the girl and start to wine. Juve is my favorite thing, let me start it. The hype is sweet, the hype is lovely. I would never put nothing else above it. Big up to my teacher, I tell her must playing all over. Straight A's the scope on the load to walk the girl and a proper. Give her A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, 1, 2, 3. So long I've been waiting, anticipating for my daddy to tell me go and mash it up. Hey, carnival is one time, watch the girl and start to wine. Juve is my favorite thing, make me start it on it's so sweet. The hype is lovely, I will never put nothing else above it. Via A, big up.
Well, I could tell only I get my carnival. I can stay home now. I just got my whole carnival here. Wow. Well done, Little Flame. Another round of applause, boy. All I got to say is this. Dash, Boise, Little Natty Thunder. Y'all in trouble. Y'all in trouble. That was so cute. That was so cute. And again, he is the newly crowned Little Mr. Grenada, Little Mr. Little Grenada, and he's only 9 years old. Wow, so brave. Man, well, that was indeed a treat. Minister Telesford, I saw you, you know. I saw you. I saw you. I saw you. Music, I tell you, music. But folks, we are moving on. We have just about 3 more items on the agenda for this afternoon, and the next one is a vote of thanks. That will be delivered by Mr. Delroy Date. Mr. Date is the Director of Juvenile Justice Division, Ministry of Social and Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs. Mr. Date. I'm not sure, you might have to adjust.
And good afternoon to everyone. After this, I thought I had the biggest. I thought I had the biggest task here this afternoon, but after Little Flame, I think I will have to take my seat. Anyway, I have a very, very important task here to do this afternoon, which is the vote of thanks, and I'm honored to actually do the vote of thanks here this afternoon for this very, very important occasion. First of all, I would like to thank the Prime Minister for coming here out of his busy schedule to grace us with his presence and actually do an address for us. And we are very, very grateful for him being here, and we are thankful. First and foremost, I'd like to thank our dear Minister, the Honorable Gloria Thomas, for your vision and commitment to the well-being of the youth of Grenada. You are very, very instrumental for bringing this program, and we are very, very thankful. And your inspiring word, we are grateful for it and your unwavering support. I would like to also thank Pastor Happy Akasi, I hope I get it right, for your beautiful invocation that set the tone for today's proceeding. I also like to thank Minister Telford for your welcome remarks. You're always, inspiring when you speak, and you are very, very motivating. I see Mr. Chaitan in the audience here, and I know he's a motivational speaker, but I think you outdone Mr. Chaitan here this afternoon by motivating us. Yeah? I would like to also thank Harper Music School for the stirring rendition of the national anthem and the delightful musical performance that uplifts our spirit. I would also like to thank Permanent Secretary Naomi Jeremiah and Ms. OSAO Hood Williams. We are grateful and we are thankful for your impactful remarks. Your words have highlighted the importance of the initiative and the collective effort required to support our youth. Mrs. Chrissy Owam-Charles for providing an insightful overview of the Division of Juvenile Justice and the HYPE mentoring program. Your dedication and hard work is truly inspiring. We were mesmerized by the incredible dance performance by Conception Dance Theatre. Thank you for sharing your talent and adding vibrancy to this program here this afternoon. Mr. Tevin Shepard from USAID, our featured speaker, your address has enlightened us and reinforced the significance of mentorship in shaping the future of our youths. Dr. Roxanne Brizan St. Martin from OECS Commission, for your encouraging remarks. Your insightful and support is invaluable to the success of this program. And I must thank Little Flame. We know Little, the thanks that I'm going to give him is a big one. Thank you for your musical performance. It was awesome. It was really, really awesome seeing, sometimes many of us, we are a bit shy to get up here. Big people. But when we have little ones that can do it, it's really heartwarming, and we are very, very thankful for your performance here this afternoon. But it will go amiss of me if I don't thank the individual that organized this launch here this afternoon. So the organizing committee and the volunteers, and there's some names that I have to mention, and I hope I mention them because I don't think I will do justice if I don't mention those names. Right, so Mr. Ray Charles from the community, we are grateful and we are very thankful for the work that you will have done to transform the center. Mr. Benjamin, we are also grateful and thankful, and Mr. Rodney Pivot, we are grateful and thankful for your contribution. And my team at the Juvenile Justice Unit, we are very, very, very grateful for your hard work and dedication to ensure that this initiative and the launch actually took place. Last but not least, to everyone present here today, I'd like to thank you for your participation. And by you being here, you show your support for this initiative, and I'm very grateful and really heartwarming for you being here. It's a testament to your collective commitment and nurturing and empowering our youth. So once again, I'd like to thank everyone and have a blessed evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Date, for your vote of thanks. So before the unveiling, we have one more musical treat. This one is pretty cool, and it's a big deal for this gentleman, young man, who's part of Harper's School of Music. Jarrington. Somebody's already saying yes, yes. Jarrington is officially a Groovy finalist for this year's competition, and he is going to perform his selection for the night. It's called All You Come. Jarrington, where are you? Oh, he's right here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, Jarrington. Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
Awesome.
Good evening to all. Now, this song was written before Hurricane Beryl, and it's only now, the more I sing the song and the more I think about the song, I see how fitting it is now that Hurricane Beryl has passed and we are now bouncing back from that. So sit back, enjoy. Every creed and every race, people come from different places. It is the time we come alive, everybody hold a vibe, and the people mix together cause they come out to have a good time. Costume choice I hear debating, want to choose right after waiting to touch the road in a mass band with plenty drinks in my hand. As the people them gyrating to the song of the soca songs. All you come, the whole week is vibes, the whole island come alive. All you come, girl from everywhere, I must get a jump tonight. All you come, the greatest Juve, everybody black down there. Come, bring your oil and paint, we don't show it no restraint. Over here, over there, we fetting all by the bay. Over so, over there, it's all kind of mass we play. Over here, over there, we making a memory. Over so, over there, oh gosh, the mass play. 365 we've been waiting for a love that the slave masters hated. The kind of love where we unite and together stop the fight. With the drumming and the dancing is a spirit that we ignite. Once you hear the gong shell blowing, you know it's the jab jab band that rolling. They on the road in the all black with the camel pack on the back as we celebrate tradition in the freedom that we now have. All you come, the whole week is vibes, the whole island come alive. All you come, girl from everywhere, I must get a jam tonight. All you come, the greatest Juve, everybody black down there. Come, bring your oil and paint, we don't show it no restraint. Over here, over there, we fetting all by the bay. It's all kind of mass we play. Over here, over there, we making a memory. Oh gosh, the mass play. Sweet Bacchanal, oh gosh, the mass play. Why all you come, let we make a memory. all you come. The whole week's vibes, the whole island come alive, all you come. Girl from everywhere, I must get a jam tonight, all you come. The greatest Juve, everybody black down there, come, bring oil and paint. We don't show it no restraint. Over here, over there, we fetting all by the bay. It's all kind of mass we play. Over here, over there, we making a memory. Oh gosh, Eddie must play. Over here, over there, gosh, Eddie must play. Over here, over there, let we make a memory. Sweet Bacchanal. Oh gosh, Eddie must play. Thank you.
Another round of applause. This lady really have a good time. Another round of applause for Jarrington. Congratulations again, young man. Well done. Good music, good lyrical content. Just feel good. I am wishing you all the best. You'll do great things in the future. And a round of applause to his band. He was backed up by his band, you know. That is fantastic. So at this time, ladies and gentlemen, we have a little shifting to do because I understand the unveiling will take place at the front portion of the building to my right. So we have a little shifting to do, and to lead us with the unveiling will be Minister Telesford, and he will be joined by Minister Thomas. So we just ask if you can make your way to the front of the building. And I think it's only fitting that I also announce, the reception dignitaries for the dignitaries will be upstairs and our guests right here on spot. So shall the other members of the audience join honorable ministers for the unveiling, and then you can make your way back to this location for refreshments for the reception. Again, thank you so much. This has been the official launch of the Harnessing Young Potential Excellence HYPE mentoring program. Of course, it's a Juvenile Justice Division and OASIS, the OECS and USAID. All made possible by various partners and the team at the Ministry of Social and Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs. Another winner for the team, and congratulations to each and every one of them, and thank you all for joining us here at the community of Marianne.
With a new man, feel like she new burn. We inside the session, party kicking up hard. She put up, she 2-1, whining back on the man. They think I gave a damn, you're mad. The day you leave me, the day you leave, I started to see my way. When you hurt me and went away, what I thought was a tragedy was a blessing. The day you up and leave was a blessing, a blessing. I'm feeling so blessed, oh yes. When you leave was a blessing, a blessing. My hands up high,
grinding. Click, click, tick tock. Time run out, so I said to